and thank you for joining us for
a cup of tea. Yes, this is Lady Sarah.
And this is Keith Fields.
And I don't know if you noticed, we have got some new music at the introduction of our show. Did you enjoy that?
I thought it was jolly snazzy.
Yes, Facebook didn't like our last piece of music. Apparently they kept saying, oh, you can't have it. But,
unbelievable.
So we've now got what we can have. We're all official.
We're very happy, very happy.
So,
who's we got on the show today?
Today's show. As most of you know, we are magicians and we run a magic club and we feature magic in this show quite often. But magic is more popular today than it probably ever has been, or it has been for many, many years. Yet, strangely enough, magic shops, they should be popping up all over the place, but actually they're dying out. We have one of the last brick and mortar magic shops here in Michigan, here in the Detroit area, and we have the owner of that shop on the store today. So we're going to be talking about magic shops.
But hold on, we have to mention Fred Lenter's little comment there about how gorgeous I'm looking. Thank you, Fred. And I noticed my mother is here from Wales. What more could we want? Hurrah for mother!
Yes.
So, darling, this is a show just for you because we're going to do your favorite thing live on air today.
Is that appropriate? There could be children watching. I mean, that's, you know.
Oh, your second favorite thing.
It's a bit early for drinking.
No, darling, I'm talking about cheese.
Oh,
we're going to
that
do
favorite
cheese.
thing.
Wow, I don't know where his mind was going. Unbelievable, unbelievable. So we have the Cheese Ladies from Rochester coming on. Kimberly and Barbara are going to talk to us about a British cheese and an American cheese.
Should be fun, should be fun.
Yes.
And we also have some magic with our magician today who's coming all the way from Chicago. He should have been performing at the Magic Soiree, but unfortunately, due to the close down.
But he'll be back.
He will be back. He will be there. As soon as we reopen, he's going to be there with us. He is one of the resident magicians at the Chicago Magic Lounge. Great place. Visit there when it's open, if you can. If you're in Chicago, he is Luis Carreon.
You've really practiced that.
I had to pronounce
Luis. We're very excited. Now we've got a bit of news for you, boys and girls. For those of our regular viewers, we had a few weeks ago this lady. Kathy Gruby.
I remember Kathy, yes.
Kathy Gruby, who came to talk to us about Alzheimer's and the walk to end Alzheimer's. Well, she very kindly invited us onto her fundraising event.
Yeah.
She ran last night the best Zoom I've ever been to. There were 80 folk in. Can you imagine that? 80 folk in tiny little screens.
And they had some brilliant magicians on the call.
They did. Well, we did 3 10-minute spots. It was great, but that's not the point. The point was she had 8 people in from across America, 80 people in from across America, and she raised a cracking $4,000 last night.
$4,000. Great.
So
good
great
work.
Round of applause for Kathy.
Applause for
Kathy. Phenomenal. Fantastic. So excited for her. So that was just a little update for you regular viewers.
So on to our show.
On to our show.
Who do we have? Our first guest started out his life as a Huckleberry Finn impersonator.
Sorry, you have to go back to that last comment. There's John Boy, but Zappo, New Zealand, babe, looking gorgeous. Okay, back to the show. Back to the show.
You're treading on my jokes. I spent ages thinking about that. Here he is, Huckleberry Finn impersonator, and then this happened.
Oh, wait.
Well, there we go. Yeah, what happened there? That the hair grew, and the hair gets longer and longer because I don't think he's actually cut it since then. Please welcome a very good friend of mine, owner of one of the last brick and mortar magic shops in America, Joshua Wilde.
Yay!
Hello.
Look, Dan Sparling is looking forward to seeing you. He misses you, Josh.
We all miss you, Josh.
We all miss you.
How you doing, sir?
Doing good. How are you?
We're excellent. Thank you for joining us here on the show.
We do have to comment on the hair, though, Joshua.
I have not cut it since that picture.
That is amazing.
That is amazing.
That is incredible. I bet, yes.
Wow. Every mother's dream for her son.
There were so many comments I was thinking of, and none of them seemed appropriate at this moment. So I'm glad you covered us on that one. So it looks like you're actually in the magic store at the moment. Is that true?
I am.
And you are closed, I assume, as is everything else?
Yeah, we're open by appointment only.
Okay. Oh, well, I'm going to have to make an appointment because one of the things we often do in the show is because we are a sort of a Michigan, north of Detroit-based area show, we like to talk about our favourite places. And your store, as you know, is one of my favourite places in Detroit. If I've got nothing to do, I go and pop in and sit there and chat and have a cup of coffee with you or a cup of tea.
And it is, of course, Wunderground.
Wunderground Magic Store, absolutely in Clawson. Marvellous place. But it's one of the last brick and mortar magic shops. How many are left? Do you know?
I think between 30 and 50 in the United States.
That's
not very many. Down from hundreds and hundreds and hundreds.
I know the number is going down and down and down. With the popularity of magic, you would have thought it would have been cropping up, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would. You would absolutely. You would.
Still, before we get going on talking about that, there's something we have to set up, which is our little game that we play, Say Something in British. I have got lots of British words on the cards here, and I'm going to shuffle through them randomly, and I just want you to say stop at any point. This is especially for you, Martin Cox. Just say stop anytime you have to. Oh, there we go. So your word today is, I don't know if you can see that, Barney. Barney. The Barney is a British word. It's not the big dinosaur. Do you have any idea what Barney means?
Large purple dinosaur.
No, not large purple dinosaur.
Unbelievable. No.
That's all I got.
Okay, he's
That's
rubbish.
all he's got. That's no good at all.
Truly rubbish. Okay, get back to the point. Josh, tell us about the history of Wunderground.
How long has it been there?
The Wunderground has been here in Clawson for about 15 years.
Yeah.
It's been around since the early 70s.
So 40, 50.
Charlie Roman.
Oh, who's that?
He started.
Look at that.
He started the store.
Wow.
If you look up Dapper, you see him in the dictionary. So yeah, he started it, and then it went through several owners in the 80s and 90s. Paul Nielsen was the most recent owner, and I bought the store from him.
Fantastic.
About a year ago.
Yeah, dare I ask why you took it on?
I didn't want it to close. I needed a job. So, yeah.
Not wanting it, yeah, but I really genuinely think it. That store is a part of magical history, and people aren't sort of so aware that. I mean, I still remember my first experience when I walked into a magic shop. I remember the store. It was a place called Davenport's in the United Kingdom, a very famous magic store. And when I walked in there, there was a guy who at the time was a very famous magician in the UK called Ali Bongo, who was just doing what I do when I come to your store, just hanging out. And I
have to say, Keith spends a lot of time hanging out at your store, Joshua. I'm just saying, that's where he goes.
Was this the thought? Because you're a Detroit boy, aren't you? You've been around here most of your life. Was this the first magic store you went to?
No, a very trustworthy establishment called Hank Lee's was the first shop I ever went to. They're gone now.
There's a story about Hank Lee, but I don't think it's appropriate to tell.
No, let's move forward. Move forward.
Then I actually grew up on the East Coast, and then I went to Tannen's.
Yeah.
In New York.
Then once I was in the Midwest, the Wunderground and Abbott's. This was always the best stocked magic shop, though, out of all of them, actually.
Can you do me a favor, actually, because so many people have actually never experienced a magic shop. Are you? I didn't ask. Are you on your laptop at the moment?
Yeah.
Because I know where you're seated, because I know the store. Can you swivel the laptop round just to give us a view of what the magic store actually looks like for those of us who know been? So we've got all the books there.
There are many, many books on magic, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know. In fact, Keith might have written a few of those.
And look at that. Just stop there for a moment. Look at this. This is an absolute wall full of magic and miracles. And it's making me salivate just thinking about them, to be quite honest. Look at that.
But Josh, as a mum of several kids, how many have I got? 3. One of the things come back, Josh. One of the things that we never think about, of course, we think about magicians and children's parties, but children come into the store, don't they? You can teach the magic there. There's self-working tricks that they can walk away with. And that's such an exciting thing, because we think you can't actually learn it there and then, but you can, can't you? You have to go there.
It is possible to go to the store and be able to leave and perform a magic trick straight away. They don't.
Yes,
it'll take years.
There are many tricks where as soon as you know the secret, with about a minute's worth of practice, you can do the trick.
That kind of incredible. Obviously, hold on.
Wait. I'm going to pin you.
We're going to put you on full screen, so you've got something there to demonstrate. What is this?
This is a large die.
Yeah.
Right.
Watch close.
That just
Up a bit.
Oh, there we go.
Nice.
That just seems, yeah. So visual effects like that. So you're saying that people can actually buy this and do them immediately, yeah? And what age?
As soon as you buy it, you teach it to you, and then you walk out the door with the trick in your pocket.
What age can do this kind of thing? What age are we talking about?
We've taught kids as young as 4.
What?
It's true.
That's amazing.
They're teaching kindergartners like algebra now. So yeah, we give 7-year-olds Marlowe and send them on their way. No.
Perfect. And of course, if you want to find out where the shop is, it's in Clawson, and you can Google this email address and you'll find it. Clawson isn't a big place. There's a couple of gorgeous bars and restaurants and a coffee shop. And Joshua.
You've got one more chance. Have you got a better meaning for the word Barney than a big purple dinosaur?
Barney.
Just see what's popped up there. Barney, Barney is a British cheese from the village of Barn.
Yeah. Good try, Joe.
Similar to Jolly, like Barney Good Time.
We'll come back to that.
We'll come back to that.
We'll come back to
Josh, we obviously have a magician.
What's that?
We've got a dear old friend of yours as well, I believe, coming on to perform.
A little bit later.
So will you come back and join us for that?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
We're going to pop you in the green room for now. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Lovely. I'm going to get rid of that.
I miss Josh. He's a lovely guy. If you ever get a chance to pop into the Magic Shop in Clawson, I highly recommend it just for the experience. But
very exciting. Very exciting.
But hopefully you'll be able to take some money and buy a magic trick as well, because like so many businesses, they need the business now more than they have done for a long time.
Yeah. Absolutely. Now, Keith, you made a comment about this next lady.
I did.
When I showed you this picture.
Yes. Was it? Yes. Oh, yes. It was to do with the. What a cute picture. What was it about the age? We put little girls in the shortest dresses possible back then. What was it?
So short.
They're getting even shorter.
Really?
Our best guess, and what we're hoping, is it was going to be a hand-me-down, and you were just getting as much use out of it as possible.
As you possibly could. Let's give this lady a big introduction, Keith. Come on.
Yes, this is the Cheese Lady, and apparently that doesn't mean she's made of cheese. She runs a store called the Cheese Lady up in Rochester. Please welcome Kimberly Judd.
Yay! Hello, thank you for having me.
Hey, Kimberly, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Look at that. It's a very posh little office she's got there.
She's very posh.
Yeah.
Very posh.
Very nice.
Cheeses.
Yeah.
So Keith has been longing to ask you this question.
Because here's my thing. There is cheese and there is cheese. In the same way as there is Thunderbird and there is wine. The question I have for you is, what first attracted you to cheese? I just wanted to see that. That's funny in my head.
Yeah. Back from when I was a little girl in those little white go-go boots, which were my absolute favorite. And by the way, I was the youngest of 6, so I had many hand-me-downs.
Oh, okay.
And those little high white socks, I think, was after I grew out of my go-go boots. That's the only thing I could get to replicate them, and that's all I had. So I went from go-go boots to high knee socks too.
Right. Look at that.
There you go.
The high knees. Perfect. Sorry, had to show those again.
But my favorite thing in life was my go-go boots and cheese, actually. They called me the little mouse when I was little because I was always in the fridge looking for cheese. And how I became distinguished in cheese is actually when I went to Europe and found the most amazing cheese I had ever had in my life. And that's when, as you compared the cars, I found that Kraft singles compared to European cheese was very different. And that's when I fell in love with it.
Perfect. Well, we have some cheeses with us,
we do.
Don't we? We also have your colleague with us who we're going to bring into the stream. Are you ready for this?
Please welcome.
All the way from Rochester.
Yes. She's from Rochester by her marvellous accent. This is Barbara Marriner.
Hello, Barbara.
Hello.
Hey. Oh, before we go any further, there's one thing we should do, but something we forgot about. We had to ask what the word Barney means. Say something in English, in British. Kimberly, have you any idea what a Barney is?
Quickly, I'm going to say Barney means irritating. because I watched a lot of Barney in my time with my young girls, and I know a lot of Barney songs, and all I can think of is irritating.
Right.
From the dinosaur. That's
From
lovely.
the dinosaur. Really?
So let's go over. So we got Barbara, and we're really putting you on the spot here. Barbara, just a yes or no. Do you have any idea what Barney means?
I absolutely do, yes.
I thought you might.
How many people picked up on Barbara's accent there?
Touch of an accent there, Barbara. You don't sound like you're a native.
No, I am not. I am from the northeast of England, so I absolutely do know what Barney means, and I'm very familiar with the situation of a Barney.
You can educate us. We shall hand over the mantle to you. What is a Barney?
A Barney is a colloquialism for an argument.
Yes.
Absolutely,
Yes.
There's an argument or a right
Lovely.
Barney going
Right
on.
Barney.
So your task for today, ladies and gentlemen, in Facebook and internet land, is to use the word Barney in
a sentence.
In a sentence. There we go.
Perfect. But ladies, we have cheese. We have
do.
this cheese here. We are very excited. That is a picture right in front of us of the cheeses that you selected. Now, Barbara, you chose for us, first of all, a Stilton.
I do.
So Keith, do you want to cut this Stilton? Barbara, tell us about the Stilton. I need to hold it up to the camera so you can see the
Look at
the
that.
blue vein going through it.
You'll see in a Stilton a beautiful blue veins. And the reason I chose Stilton is it's a very archetypal English cheese. It's a protected cheese in that it's only allowed to be made in 3 counties of England and nowhere else. You'll see the beautiful blue veins. That's caused by mold.
We're eating mold. That's kind of
We
good.
like moldy cheese, great.
And that's what gives us its taste and flavor. But it is sometimes a bit of a shock to some of our American friends when they realize that it is in fact mold. But it does give it its distinctive taste and flavor.
Now, but you paired it with something, Barbara. You've paired it with...
The joy of cheeses is often pairing it with a different cracker or a jam. And the trick is to make sure that they complement each other and not overwhelm each other.
Really?
So what we chose for the Stilton was a good old gooseberry jam. You'll be familiar with gooseberry jam from England, but this is actually made in the US on behalf of the Cheese Lady. So we sell this here, and it pairs the sharpness, the tartness of the gooseberry, pairs very nicely with the creamy crumbliness of the Stilton. So they are a natural pairing. What did you think?
It's interesting. It's absolutely delicious. The taste is very rich. And I think people that appreciate wine really should get into cheese, because the more wine you drink, not necessarily in one night, obviously, but over the
I've been
weeks and
practicing,
years,
darling. I've been
the
practicing.
more wine you drink, the more you begin to enjoy the subtle flavors that are in them. Cheese has got the same sort of depth of complicated flavors in it. And
the joy is that we came and picked this up. Well, I picked this up yesterday from Barbara. So I rang in and she chose me some cheeses and I picked it up. We wore our masks. And I just picked it up with the idea that we're going to have it with a glass of wine later.
But that's the thing about cheese as well. Big difference between England and America. In England, we would kind of have cheese and maybe some crackers at the end of the meal.
Absolutely.
We'd have dinner, and the last course would be cheese and biscuits.
Yeah.
It would just be put on the table, and it means the conversation keeps going as we sort of nibble at the cheese. And it seems that over in America, people have cheese at the beginning of a meal.
Is that right, Kimberly? Do you often find that's the case?
I do. We always generally served it as an appetizer. Now, myself, I enjoyed having it as an appetizer in the meal and then after. However, we've been trying to educate our guests how in England and France that it is served at the end of the meal just to be enjoyed, and as you said, to keep the conversation going. So we love how cheese, not only is it taste amazing, it is something that can bring families together and couples together to keep enjoying and conversation going. So that's what I love about it, how it not only does it taste amazing, it brings people together.
And you're now doing cheese and wine tastings, aren't you? Virtually via Zoom on a Friday night.
Yes.
You can ring up Barbara at the shop, get some cheese, get some wine, and then join in a Zoom. And
that sounds a fantastic
I
idea.
know. I'm quite excited about that, babe. That's our Friday night sorted.
You haven't thought of booking some magicians?
No.
Let's go on to this next cheese here, because this is one of my favorites. This is one of those absolutely delicious runny bries.
But where's that from, girls?
It must be a French brie, surely. This is perfect. Where's this one from?
Yes, this one is actually from Michigan. We love Michigan cheeses, but I will tell you, it is made from a French cheesemaker that came over to Michigan. So it's made in Benton Harbor, actually.
Right.
Wow, which Michiganders will know. And Barbara, you paired this with another jam. Which jam did you pair this one?
This one is with a pear jam. Again, that's one of the jams made for the Cheese Lady here, and we use the pear jam as an excellent pairing for many, many different cheeses. If anyone has been to the store, they've probably experienced it with manchegos from Spain, where it has a taste that pairs well because it's not overwhelming, but it really accentuates the flavors of a lot of different cheeses, especially creamy cheeses. So we love the pear jam.
Perfect.
This is...
Girls, we won't be doing any talking now. That's it.
We're
going to just enjoy this.
This is really good, people. This is really good.
Really good cheese. Really good cheese. So if you're in Michigan, go see the Cheese Ladies. We're going to bring you in now, ladies, and you can watch a bit of magic while we enjoy your cheese.
Wow.
So, we're going to bring Joshua back in the stream. Now, I think people who watch us regularly will suddenly realize we're going to have 5 screens going.
Yeah, this is the first time we've had 5 screens, so we have no idea quite what's going to happen now.
Just bear with us. Keith, what do we have to say about this chap?
Well, what I said earlier, as I said, a good friend who should have been headlining at the soiree, but we couldn't make that happen, but we can make this happen, and I'm so glad that he's here. So please give a huge round of applause for Luis Carreon.
Yeah! There he is!
Luis. Thank you so much. I'm here enjoying my cup of tea, or is it tequila? I don't know. They both start with a T, so it could be either one of those. Okay. All right. So,
Luis, what's on your cup?
What's on your cup?
Oh, I finished it already.
No, what's on it? Printed on the cup. Show us what's printed on the front of the cup.
Oh, it says keep calm and drink tea.
Look at that. A beautiful British sentiment, if ever I heard one.
So proud of you.
Awesome. Well, listen, when I got in magic, I'll be honest, I didn't want to learn how to do card tricks because everybody does card trick. I was like, you know what? I'm going to be a little bit different. It didn't work out, okay? So I got some magic for you guys. And we're going to start by warming up, and that should do it.
Wow.
Now, there's a lot of different ways of shuffling cards. This is pretty much like the way that most people shuffle cards. After that, you will give it a few couples and one more thing. But I'm going to show you 4 of my favorite cards. But for this, we have to do a shuffle that I devised myself. It's called the Mexican Shuffle. It is a real thing. Don't find me about it, okay? Look, so we take half and half. Face up and face down. No way, Luis, don't do it. Don't stop me. Don't stop me, okay? All right, here we go. And we're going to shuffle them face up into face down. So now we have a big mess. But look, we'll take some more of those face up and face down. So now we have a condition. Yeah, here's what we have. Some are going face up, some are face down. Some of them are back to back or face to face. But during the process, I think I was actually able to track down the cards that I need for myself. In this case, let's see if we can do it. Boom. Bingo. The 4 kings. Look at that. That's king number 1. That's king number 2. That is king number 3. And this is my favorite guy, Carlos.
Nice. Nicely done.
But I'll be honest, finding the kings, that's the easy part. The hard part is making sure that every card stays back, face down, every single card all the way across. Oh, thank you.
Fantastic.
Amazing.
Now, there's a reason I brought him, okay? And that reason is that, during this quarantine time, I've been actually developing some actual skills. And I've been working on the art of teleportation. And then when I master it fully, I'll sell it to my people. They'll like that stuff. Okay, here we go. So that's king number 1. That's king number 2. That's king number 3. And that's king number 4. Okay. Now, of course, most of the time they will ask you, would you like to see it done the easy way or the hard way? It doesn't matter. It all looks the same. Here we go. So we're going to do it. the hard way. Okay, here we go. 4 kings from point A to point B. And that is the first one. No way, Luis, do that again. I will do it again. Okay, here we go. You can do it. I know. Here we go. That's 2 and 2. Yeah. Now, I also discovered another way of doing it. And this is what I call slide of mouth. Here we go. Da, 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 da. That's 3 kings, okay, and 1 left, okay. And the last one is the hardest one. That's because now you're watching closely, and most people want to catch me all the time. Good luck with that. Here we go. Here we go. It goes back on top. Now, this is my favorite part because this is where I like to build suspense, okay? See, this is the moment that you can. Only takes 1 little tap, and you get the last king right about there, and boom, bingo. The art of time travel. Yeah.
Wow. Good.
Very impressive.
Well, I have one last quick little thing for you. Okay, let me shuffle those cards, okay?
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna show up a little bit for you guys, okay? I know normally don't do this kind of stuff, okay? So just thought I would show up for you a little bit, okay? Just a little bit. But believe it or not, I can actually see into the future. Yeah. Now, don't worry, nothing crazy like Miss Cleo or anything like that, okay? But just with playing cards, it comes a little useful, okay? So here's what we'll do. I'm just gonna have anybody here. Hold on. Oh, I got it. 10 of spades. From this point on, the only thing that matters is the 10 of spades. That's it. Okay. So let's have. You know what? We'll use. Let's see what we have in the here today. We have one of the cheese ladies.
I took everybody's name.
Kimberly. How are you, Kimberly?
Okay.
All right, Kimberly. Don't worry. Your job is very simple. Okay, Kimberly. I'm getting a sense of the 10 of spades. That's it. Nothing else matters except the 10 of spades. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna deal cards to the table face up like this. Okay. And then Kimberly, at some point, you're gonna say stop.
Okay.
But there's 2 rules. 2 rules. Rule number 1, you have to stop me when there's the card face down. Not face up, but face down, okay?
Got it.
And rule number 2, don't stop in the last card because that's not the 10 of spades, okay? Sounds Gucci? Okay, here we go.
Okay. Stop.
Right there.
Right there.
I can keep going a little bit more.
I'm good.
I'm going to give you 3 chances. You want to change your mind?
I don't want to change my mind. I'm good.
You want to change your mind?
Nope. I'm good.
Okay, that's it. Now think about it. You could have stopped with the next one. That would have been the King of Clubs. Ooh.
Wow.
Carly. Okay, or the Queen of Hearts, or the 8 of Hearts, or any one of those, or even here, the 5 of Clubs, the Ace of Clubs. Nope. Here, we don't want to get that one lost in there. But, like I said, I can see into the future.
Wow.
Right? The 10 of spades. I don't know.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Good job.
Right.
Good job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Joshua. Sorry, wrong person. Wrong magician. Luis, that was fantastic. Fantastic.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's been a lovely time.
Yeah. We are rapidly running out of time. Luis, that was absolutely amazing. We do like to finish off our show on a positive thought. So, Luis, as you're there, do you have a positive thought to share with the group?
Sure. Always remember that amazing things happen every day. And we're almost there. We're almost at the finish line, and we'll get through it, okay? Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Good thinking.
Yeah, good
Thank
thinking.
you very much
Good thinking.
indeed.
Good thinking.
Joshua,
positive thought before we go.
You must be the magic you wish to see in the world.
Oh, that's kind of very zen, isn't it?
There's a very magic theme here.
Yeah.
Kimberly, I don't like to put you on the spot. And Barbara, I'll bring you back in because we seem to have lost you. But, Kimberly, something to think about before we go.
So I'd like to just say that we love to bring magic in the cheese and our love for people all together. So when you bring magic and love together, nothing can happen but good things.
Perfect.
Love it. Thank you very
Perfect,
much
perfect.
indeed. Barbara, do you have a
Barbara,
nice
as our other Brit.
I don't know if you can see me, but even if you can't see me, you can hear me. And I would say, keep calm and eat cheese. So,
Very British. Thanks.
Thank you so much for joining us. We've run out of time one more time. We've had a lot of fun. We've had a lot of fun.
We're back in on Tuesday, but thank you so much to our wonderful guests, the Cheese Ladies, Barbara and Kimberly. We truly appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Owner of the Magic Shop, Josh Wilde, and the fabulous Luis Carreon, all the way from Chicago. Thank you, everyone. I think that's it. That's another show
From
done.
Keith Fields.
And from Lady Sarah.
Cheerio.
Cheerio.